I got the chance to try out the newest Namco Bandai game, Synduality Echo of Ada. Luckily, I was able to get a code for what they called a CBT. Now, I've never heard a company actually call the closed beta test a CBT, but definitely don't Google search those 3 letters by themselves. But anyway, this game is part of a project that's similar to what they did with Scarlet Nexus. And that's where Namco Bandai creates both a game and an anime together to catch the attention of weebs and gamers at the same time. But the only difference here is that the anime Synduality Noir came out sometime in 2023 and the game won't be fully released until almost a year later. I did check out the first few episodes and it gave me a better idea of what the world might actually look like behind what we see in the beta. So now my question today is, what is up with this game and is it worth your time and money to get the full release? So we play as a member of an underground society called Amasia. The world above has been destroyed, with humanity being wiped out by a mysterious poison rain. Now the people of Amasia are working with whatever resources and energy they can find, but still need access to the world above to keep things going. That's where these mech suits called cradle coffins come into play. So you don't actually see the person who's driving the mech, but instead the character that we create and see most of the time is called a Magus. They're pretty much like an AI companion that's inside of the mech with us. It sounds a bit weird, but it does make sense when they're the ones who do all the talking while you play. The mechs not only act as a barrier against the poison rain, but they help out a ton against the alien-like creatures roaming around. These dudes are called Enders, and they can be a real big pain in the ass. From the dog-looking ones to the flying jellyfish and even massive worms that dig into the ground. Now you might think that the whole point of this game is to fight back against these things and take back your land, similar to something like Helldivers, but nah, it's much more about surviving. Your mech only has a certain amount of battery life, ranging anywhere from 15 minutes to 30 minutes or more. And once you run out of battery, that's basically game over. So between needing to watch your battery and fight against these monsters, you have a lot to pay attention to. Each time you go back to the surface, you have some missions you want to complete based on what the association needs from you. Sometimes they want you to collect crystals or kill monsters, and sometimes they want some specific material you have to find and bring back. You do get rewards for completing tasks and even more for bringing back more crystals each time. And those rewards can be money or some unlocks for new weapons and mech parts. Like, I'm seeing the feedback they have going on here and I'm really feeling it so far. I don't normally play too many games like this, but it seems like a great thing to come back to, explore, and work for better gear. Not to mention, you also have a base of your own that you can upgrade with facilities and clean up to not look abandoned. And you can't really tell that from the beta, but I'm sure it's gonna look a lot better after some more upgrades in the final game. But my only real issue with things so far is how the game is structured. So you do mostly fight these Enders, and that makes this into a PvE kind of game. But in all reality, it's more of a PvEVP game, if that makes sense. So each time you go back to the surface, you'll probably see other players online there with you. They all have the same kind of goals as you, so you'll see them mining for crystals, collecting materials, and basically everything else you're doing. But the game does allow you to fight against one another even if they frown upon that happening. Do it enough and you end up having a bounty put on your back and you might make it onto this leaderboard of Rogue Magus. Now, I didn't see too many people trying to take me out, but I kinda messed up in my first match and ended up killing a dude while he was getting crystals. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, bro. Then another match I had, this dude totally hunted me down, making me lose everything right before I could get to extraction. Hey, I even helped him take down some Enders, and this is the thanks I get. I'm not a huge fan of the idea that people can ruin your runs with grifting, but it might become a problem depending on how the community turns out. It would suck wanting to go in, do some tasks, and then extract just for some dudes to murk you and take all your stuff every time you do it. Oh, and yeah, if you don't do extraction through the elevator, you'll lose all your loot, including the mech you came in with. Mechs that you have to spend money on and risk that money being nothing but a waste of time. Trust me, that part is just not a fun thing to experience. Hopefully they do add some other kind of game modes with co-op instead of the PvP, because that's the only thing that had me concerned. Even if they had to make some harder enders for us to fight, going in with a squad that can only work together would be pretty nice. I'm not sure just yet if I'll get the game whenever it first comes out, but I did enjoy my time with Synduality. Let me know in the comments what you think of the game and if you got a chance to try out the beta or not. Subscribe for more videos just like this one, and I'll see you all in the next video.